Alright, today I'm going to do probably one of the most important things I can do to extend the life of my 2015 Chevy 1500. Now, I live in the salt belt, so salt is the killer of cars and trucks. I had a 2005 Ford F-150, great truck, 170,000 miles on it. I'm sure I could have got it to 250, but the frame rotted from the inside out, and that drives me nuts because if I had known the proper thing to do early on and done something like this, I would have still had the truck and I would have had, probably 30 grand in my pocket. That's another story. So the product I'm going to be using today is LPS 3. Now, I've never undercoated a truck or car before, but I've done some research on this, and LPS 3, I'm not paid by them or anything. I think it's probably one of the best products on the market. A lot of people swear by fluid film. I can't tell you how many comments I've had that people say, fluid film, that's great. Here's what I dislike about fluid film. With fluid film, in order to apply it in the most cost-effective way, you need to buy a specialized underbody undercoating spray gun, which it'd be really nice to have, but a good one costs upwards of $80 for an application gun. Or with fluid film, I believe you can get it in like aerosol cans, but aerosol cans, they get expensive. They definitely get expensive. LPS 3, from what I've seen, they actually sell this in like a Windex spray type container, so without any specialized tools, it really seems like you can apply this on the underside of your truck, which I'm all for. Also, in terms of longevity, fluid film, I've heard a lot of people say fluid film will last about a year. With LPS 3, I've heard people say that this will last upwards of 4 years. I have no idea if that's true or not, that's just what I've heard. And another thing you guys will come to find out about me, if everybody's choosing one path, I'm the type of guy to go the other way, so I like to try something new, something different, but LPS 3 I've heard great things about. So first off, let's talk about rubberized undercoating. Stay away from it. That is my opinion, and I'm pretty sure it's a fact, because what happens with rubberized undercoating creates a layer, an impenetrable layer, which, the unsuspecting consumer's probably like, oh, well, that's great, no salt will get in and through to my frame. Well, here's the thing. If there's any moisture, any corrosion, any salt already on your frame, which metal, it holds moisture, what will happen? That has nowhere to go because you've rubberized your frame, and that just allows whatever's going on underneath your frame to start rusting and rotting and pitting, and then it will just spread like cancer. Rubberized undercoating, I'd stay away from. You see this with powder coat as well. Once salt gets under powder coat, it just spreads and spreads and spreads, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of powder coating or rubberized undercoating. Stay away from that. Also, when it comes to undercoating, you have basically two types of products. You have products that cure and they form like a hard layer, which again, at first, the unsuspecting consumer would think, oh great, a hard layered undercoating, that must be great because there's no way for salt to come out or to penetrate into my frame. That's what I thought at first, but then I got to think about it. The problem with hard cured undercoatings are they're brittle. So if they chip, they'll chip away and leave a big exposed spot. I would think with a lot of products out there. Now, this doesn't apply for everything, but this is just my thought process. And additionally, when you're talking about products that cure to a hard surface, again, it traps moisture underneath that coating and it'll just rot your frame out. So one of the benefits with a product like fluid film, I believe fluid film cures to like a waxy type film, and that's the same idea with LPS 3. Will it be better than fluid film? I think so, but I'll do a review video in a year's time and see how it does. Alright, so I mentioned earlier on in this video, I like with this LPS 3 that you can apply with just some pretty basic tools. You don't need to get an air compressor and this fancy undercoating gun. So what I'm going to be attempting to spray the underside of my frame with today is this little pump sprayer, which I picked up for probably 12 bucks on Amazon. Now here's the big one. Those little holes in your frame, it's critical that you get up in there, because if any salt collects in there, when you go to wash down your car, you're really not going to wash that salt out of those holes. It's going to stay in there. With an expensive gun, they have little nozzles that you can sneak up in those holes. That's great, but I mean, for the average Joe Schmo, this is what I came up with, and this is just a little cheap bottle, and it's got this little curved nozzle on here. So what I'm thinking is I'll be able to sneak this up in those holes in the frame and just give it a couple squirts, go around, and as long as I get a good coating in all those holes, I think I'm going to be good to go. Alright, so with LPS 3, it's about 60 degrees outside right now, and it's a little thick, which makes it a bit challenging to spray through a little pump sprayer like this, or a little spray, a Windex type sprayer. So what you can do is either do this on a warmer day, perhaps an 80 or 90 degree day, but it's November and those days are gone. So what I'm doing, I'm going to give this a try. I'm just heating this up, or heating this LPS 3 up with this little heat producing fan, which it's definitely getting warm, it's definitely getting thinner, so I'm going to warm this up a little bit longer, and then from here I'll put this in these bottles, we'll get underneath the truck, and we'll get started. First things first, I've also brushed off my frame. It's a good idea to wash it and make sure that it's dry as possible, but it's hard to get ideal conditions. Obviously, you want the frame to be dry for a couple days, and you want it to be dry for a couple days after for it to fully cure. But also, you're definitely going to want a pair of safety glasses. You're going to want some Raggedy Ann clothes. Also, you're going to want a respirator because some of this is going to be in the air, and obviously we want to protect our lungs. And also, you're going to want some disposable gloves. At this point in time, I'm going to put on some disposable gloves, open up my pump sprayer, and you're also going to want a funnel, and some shop towels are definitely going to be a good idea. It's looking nice and liquidy, which is good. Alright, let's put our respirator on, go outside, and give this a shot. One of the great things about this pump sprayer, it has an adjustable tip so I can adjust how wide the spray is. So let's give this a test. And that looks perfect right there. Let's go into the truck and give this a shot. Alright, I'm going to put my respirator on now, and you probably won't hear me talking too much just because I want to protect my lungs here, but let's see how this goes. Well, so far I'd say this is going quite well. Couple notes. This stuff is messy. No matter what you do, you're going to make a mess. You're going to get it all over you. You're going to get it in your hair. You're going to get it on your face, on your skin, on your glasses, on your $1,000 camera. Yeah, can you believe it? The first shot I set up, I guess I was set up downwind and there was a little bit of overspray and it got right in the lens. And this stuff, it took a lot to get it off the lens. I hit it with brake cleaner, or excuse me, starting fluid 2 or 3 times, and then I switched over to Windex, and I really had to work this stuff off, and it's still on my touch screen, so I got to do a better job of cleaning up the camera. But yeah, this stuff is messy. You're going to make a mess. Definitely lay down cardboard or some type of sheet. But as for my application method, I think I hit the nail on the head. This little pump sprayer with this little beak, which is adjustable so you can adjust the spray width, this is really killing it right now. For the most part, I have it adjusted on a spray pattern, and it's literally spraying on like, you know, Windex on a window. Really smooth, really nice coat. It's very easy to overspray this, put too much on, but you know, I'd rather have a little bit extra than not enough. Great thing about this pump sprayer too is it's got a little beak, so I've actually been able to get in a lot of those holes in the frame and spray one direction, the other direction, and I don't think I'm going to have to use this little bottle much, but when I'm underneath there, I'm spraying everything. I'm spraying the frame, I'm spraying all the sheet metal I can see, all the bolts. I'm trying to stay away from the exhaust. You don't really want to spray this on the exhaust because, you know, it could heat up, could potentially start a fire, so don't spray it directly on the exhaust. And also be very careful to stay away from your brake rotors. I'm pretty sure this is an oil-based substance. And if you get it on your brake rotors and you go to stop, well, you may not have your normal stopping power. So again, stay away from the exhaust, stay away from the brake rotors, or if you have brake drums, stay away from there. But yeah, I'm gonna try and set the camera upwind, and I'll see if I can get a couple more shots of me spraying underneath there. Just had to get all this stuff off my glasses, which there's still a film on there, but definitely a bit better. Let's gear up. All right, so at this point in time, pretty much the whole underside of the truck is done. I got all the nooks and crannies. I got in as many holes in the frame as possible, but I definitely missed a few. So I've had this LPS 3 under some heat for a while, so it's nice and thin. So now's the ideal time to take this little squirt bottle. I'll put some LPS 3 in here, and we'll go give this a test. I'm really curious myself how well this is gonna work, but I'd imagine, because this is warm and thin, should work quite well. So no matter what you do, you're really going to make a mess. It's going to get all over you, get all over the table. It's going to get all over everything. But just remember why we're doing this. Auto manufacturers, well, especially for cars and trucks that are in the salt belt, auto manufacturers don't want our cars and trucks to last. They want them to fail. They want them to rust out. I believe that they actually engineer them to fail, but they'll never tell you that. But what we're doing is we're taking a stand against the auto manufacturers, and we're telling them, hey, we're going to get dirty. We're going to get in there and we're going to make our cars and trucks last. Just you watch. Well, at least that's how I envision it in my mind. But with that, I will conclude this video. If you're interested in any of the products you've seen in today's video, especially the LPS 3, the pump sprayer, this little curved nose bottle, the heat gun. I don't know if I can find a little portable heater. I'm sure you could find one on Amazon. I'll see if I can find one. I'll leave links for everything you've seen in today's video in the description below. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll definitely check back in after winter, and we'll see how all this product performs.